Hi students, and welcome to week 2 in your online lifespan growth and development class. I sure enjoyed learning more about you last week through both the student questionnaire as well as your introduction question. So thank you for answering those questions and telling us more about you. This week we are covering chapter 2. So chapter 2 will take us from conception to birth. And in this chapter, you will learn not only about how conception occurs, all the biological functions that it takes for that cell to divide and to grow, but you'll also learn about some of the disturbances that can cause different types of effects with the developing fetus. And so it's an interesting chapter. And it certainly is educational to take a look at that process of pregnancy. So let's look and see what we have in this week's module. So just a reminder, and I think that hopefully you got the hang of it from last week, but you'll have the PowerPoint slides available to you. So here they are for chapter 2. You will have a journal assignment that is due this week, and I'll come back and explain that in just a little bit. You do have a discussion question for the week, and I'll come back and explain that. And then your chapter 2 post test, or really what it is a quiz. And again, you're hopefully familiar with that because you had one over chapter 1 last week. So 2 writing assignments and then your quiz for the week. All 3 are due on Sunday, September 10th in the evening. So let's take a look here at the journal number 1. In total, you'll have 4 of these journals throughout the semester, and they will be on topics that are relevant to what we're talking about. So this first one is just kind of overview of getting us set up, thinking about the influences in our lives, and how that will impact and be relevant to our own development. So the first question is, and these are some thought-provoking questions. I hope that you really ponder them and write in a way that is helpful and reflective to you. Who is your personal hero and why? What has been the most difficult period of life so far, and why have you found it to be the most difficult? What is one aspect of aging that you look forward to and one aspect of aging that you dread? And just explain why that is the case. So the assignment elements for your journals is that at a minimum, they should be around a page typed double space regular, font. They can be as long as you want them to be, but to fully answer all 3 or I think there's 3 parts of that question there. In total, that's what it should be. So not 250 words for this question and then 250 words for that question. All of these questions together constitute as your journal number 1. Okay, so I hope that helps there. Again, it can be as long as you want it to be, but I think to answer all of those in total, it should be about a page typed in double space. Okay, there's no format. This is a journal. Journals should be a free response. Obviously, I'm hoping that you use proper grammar and spelling and so forth. You're in college, but that's not what I'm grading on. I'm grading on your ability to thoughtfully answer these questions, okay? And there should be a citation. Now, I could see in some situations maybe you need one because you've used an outside reference, and always we want to cite that. But these are questions about you, so I'm not looking, and it's not part of the grading rubric that you are doing any citation because it's a journal. It should be all of your free thoughts there. So journaling has proved to be a great way to prime your brain to think about information, to absorb new information, and to really process what you have learned. And so I hope this becomes a very worthwhile experience and worth your time to do these journals. So that is the nuts and bolts, if you will, of the journals. I'm going to go back into the module. So that was journal number 1 that I just talked about right here. And let's look at your second writing assignment for the week, which is a discussion question. And just a quick reminder, discussion questions are read by everyone in the class. Your journals I uphold with the strictest confidentiality. They only come to me, and I'm the only one that will see those journal responses. Not to say that you need to get, deeper than you feel comfortable with, but I just want to ensure that will never be made public, nor will I ever share, your information in class or what have you that you write in your journals. But with discussion questions, you're responding to that question that I put out there, as well as to your classmates' posts. So that is seen by the class. Lots of information here about this, but basically, in chapter 2, you're learning about development, and you're learning about the not only the prenatal development, but also the birthing process will be covered in this chapter here. So the question that I want you to write about, and you remember you're reading this in your book. You access your book by going right here to McGraw-Hill Connect and clicking on the picture of your book, and then navigating to chapter 2. In these particular pages here, you learn about the cause or disturbance that can occur in prenatal development. So choose only one. There's many, many, many of them, but choose only one of them, okay? And then you're going to use that one that you've chosen to search in the SAC library database for one scientific research article, okay? Ideally, it's going to be published within the last 10 years because obviously we want it relevant and up to date in the research as recent as we can get. And then you're going to use this research analysis worksheet to take that article that you found and to just break it down. So you have these 4 questions right here, okay? So you're going to share that information. Basically, what you're doing is summarizing and breaking down the article that you found to help us understand what you learned from that scientific article about the cause or disturbance in prenatal development or in the birthing process, okay? So that's part 1, that's your initial response. Don't forget to cite your article in APA format. I know that APA might be new to some of you. Do your best with it. I don't expect it to be perfect. I want to see your best attempt. We're in the learning process of APA, okay? Because you're using the SAC library, excuse me, and you're finding a scientific article through the SAC library, there is I shouldn't tell you this, but there is a button on there where you click on Cite, and then you choose APA, and it actually puts the article in the proper format for you. You can also use the resources that I provided in earlier modules on APA formatting. So again, you're only you're putting in your own words information about the article and answering, these 4 questions here. You're really only citing the article in APA. Your response does not need to be written in APA format, only the citation of the one article that you use, okay? So I hope that information helps. And then don't forget that you need to post a reply to at least 2 classmates' posts, okay? This is discussion, so if we were in class together, we'd be talking with each other, we'd be responding to each other's thoughts, etc. So please don't forget that last part of replying to at least 2 classmates' posts, okay? Please reach out to me if you have any questions, or I can provide further clarification on any of this week's assignments. And just as a reminder, I've scrolled back here to the week 2 module. You have this video that I'm doing right now. You'll have an overview of the week's activities. You have access to the slides for chapter 2. You have your journal number 1 we went over. You have the discussion question I just covered, and then you have your quiz. And so your quiz is the only thing that's actually in Connect this week. These 2 you will not send you out into Connect to complete. Okay, I hope you have a great week, and please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. Take care, everyone.